Lily, I have something for you. Huh? Please sit. I've been preparing it for several days. Close your eyes, huh? And no peeking. Going to wash that man right out of my head. Going to wash that man right out of my head. Going to wash that man right out of my head and send him on his way. Don't try to wash it up, count it up, tear it up, wash it up, dry him out, push him out and fly him out. So free, and let him go, yes, sister. Yeah? That's just for you, huh? Only for you. Ah, bonsoir, ma petite.
Oh, aren't you the cutest things I've ever seen in my whole life? What are your names? Oh, you probably don't understand a word I'm saying, but oh my goodness, you are cute.
Nelly, I want you to meet Nagana and Jerome. Nagana, Jerome, Nelly.
Nelly!
Maintenant, Lee, hein? Vite, vite.
Venez, petites.
Bonsoir, Nelly.
Bonsoir, Nelly. Oh, bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Aren't they adorable? Those big, beautiful eyes stand out of those sweet little faces. Are they Henry's?
No, they're mine.
Of course they are. They look exactly like you. Where'd you hide them?
She's dead, Nelly.
Oh, Emil, they are yours.
Yes, Nelly, I am their father.
Well, and then their mother was
A Polynesian. She was beautiful and charming too, Nelly.
But you and she.
I want you to know I make no apologies. I came to the Pacific when I was a young man. I lived as I could.
Of course.
And I have not been selfish. No woman has ever hated me or wanted to hurt me.
Well, no woman would ever want to hurt you, Emil. It's just, what time is it? You know, I promised to get the Jeep back. Oh, this is awful. Look at the time.
Nelly, wait, I will drive you home.
Oh, you do no such thing. And anyways, I can't leave the Jeep here. I've got to get it back. I promise you.
Nelly, don't go like this. Don't go now,
Oh,
please, Nelly.
it's awful. You know, I won't be able to face the girls at the hospital. You can't imagine the way they look at you when you come in. Like, I'll call you. I'll come by tomorrow, Emil. No, I can't. These are the awful rehearsals for Thanksgiving Day, and I'm teaching them a dance. They want to rehearse day and night. But after that, thank you, Emil. I had a wonderful time, and it was a lovely party. You're the perfect host. Please just stay here. Don't come out to the Jeep. Just stay here.
Nelly, I love you. Do you understand? I love you.
Well, I love you too, honestly. I do, but let me go. Just let me go.
Nelly! Once you have found her, never let her go. Once you have found her, never let her go.
park lights on, that's something.
When Lieutenant got started,
That's good. You know what I can't understand how a guy doesn't have artistic imagination to put gas in a generator, even though he's on the committee.
You're on the committee too. You could have told us it wasn't gassed up.
Look, I'm acting, I'm directing, I'm producing. I can't do everything, can I?
Sure you can. Just put your two heads together.
Get out of here, jerk. How's that weightlifting going?
I can't tell, there's no clapping.
No clapping, that's not good. Come on, put your two hands together.
You put your two heads
Yeah,
together.
Get out of here.
Hello. Can you tell me where I can find Miss Phobos?
She's on stage. She's the MC. She can't talk to nobody. Hey, you want me to give the flowers to her?
No, I would prefer to give them to her myself.
Are you Mr. DeBeck?
Yes.
Listen, Mr. DeBeck, do me a favor. Don't try and see her tonight.
But why?
We just got her in a good mood. She's been upset.
She has been upset.
Upset? She wanted to transfer to a new island. And a couple days ago, and right in the middle of rehearsal, she started crying for no reason. Said she couldn't go on with the show. And she wouldn't have either. Till Captain Brackett talked her into it. Do us all a favor. Don't try and see it tonight.
She has asked for a transfer.
Don't tell her I said anything. It's supposed to be a secret.
I must see her tonight.
No, wait. Just stay out of sight, okay? And I'll give her the flowers. I promise.
Hey, Billis! Billis!
Lieutenant Cable?
Shh. Lieutenant Cable's supposed to be in his little bed over at the hospital.
You have not been well.
Fever's gone. I'm okay. They can't keep me in that damn place any longer. Hey, I'm looking for a guy named Billis. Great guy at getting boats. And I need a boat right now to get back to my island. What? You know, the island with the 2 volcanoes on it? Have you ever been over there?
Why, yes.
I've gone over there every day this week until this damn malaria got me. Have you ever taken a boat? In the morning, warm wind playing across your face? It's beautiful. Beginning to see her again like last night. I thought I was dreaming.
Ma mère, ça sweet.
What are you doing over here?
She come in big white boat, bigger than your boat. Belong to Jacques Barret. He want to marry Liat. You know him. He's white man too, and very rich.
Is that the old planter you told me about, the one who drinks? Oh my God, you can't let her marry a man like that.
Okay, then you marry her.
Tais-toi. Il est malade, tu comprends? Lieutenant, I am worried about you. You look ill to me. Please allow me to take you back to the hospital.
Worried about me, that's funny. A man who lives on an island all by himself, so he doesn't have to worry about anyone. Japs, Americans, Germans, anybody. Why choose me to worry about?
Forgive me. I am sorry, Lieutenant.
Lieutenant, you like Liat, marry Liat. You have good life here. I am rich, Lieutenant. Before war, I saved $600. Since war, I made $2,000. War go on, make maybe more. Sell grass skirts, boar's teeth, real human head. Give all the money to you and Liat. You don't have to work, I work for you. All day long, you and Liat be together. Walk through the woods, swim in the sea, sing, dance, talk happy. No take of Philadelphia is no good. Talk about beautiful things. Make love all day long. You like a toy, peeking through the branches of a tree. Talk about a girl, talk about a boy, counting all the ripples in the sea. Happy talking, talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You've got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? Talk about the boy saying to the girl, golly baby, I'm a lucky cuss. Talk about the girl saying to the boy, you and me is lucky to be us. Happy talking, talking, happy talk. Talk about things you like to do. You've got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? If you don't talk happy and you never have a dream, then you never have a dream come true. Is good idea. You like?
Leon, I want you to have this. It's a man's watch, but it's a good watch. It belonged to my grandfather. It's lucky, too. My father carried it all through the last war. It's beautiful, isn't it?
When I see you first time, Lieutenant, I know you good man for Liat, and she good girl for you. Have special good babies.
Mary, I can't marry Leon.
Was your last chance! Now she married Jacques Ballet! Come, Liat! Give me watch! Stingy bastard!
Did you get a load of that Tonkinese girl?
Yeah.
Younger than springtime were you, softer than starlight were you, angel and lover, heaven and earth were you to me.
Up to now, our side's been getting the hell kicked out of it in two hemispheres.
Say that again.
None of us gets to go home until that situation is reversed. it may be a long time before we can get a major operation going in this area. And until then, it's things like this show tonight, that helps keep us going. I understand I am not generally considered a sentimental type. Once or twice, I understand, I may even have been referred to as Old Iron Belly. I resent that very much, because that's the nickname I have reserved for our Executive Officer, Commander Harbison. Take it out, Commander.
Man, I wish I was a commander.
I want all of you to know that both Old Iron Bellies sat here tonight and had a hell of a good time. And I want to thank this hard-working committee of CVs and nurses who made all of these costumes out of rope and mosquito netting, comic books, and newspaper.
Captain.
Busted.
And thought up all these jokes and these swell songs. And on this Thanksgiving Day, I just want to say to all of them, from all of us, thank you. Now I'd like to ask Commander Harbison to introduce our next act, which will also be the finale of this Thanksgiving festivity.
Like on time.
Thank you, Captain. The next and last song sung will be by Bosun Butch Forbush. And that siren of the Coral Sea, the gorgeous, the voluptuous, and petite Mademoiselle Lutherina Billis. Come on, Bill.
My doll is as dainty as a sparrow. Figure is something to applaud. Where she's narrow, she's as narrow as an arrow. Oh, Luther, you really are honey bunnies. Beautiful flowers. Oh, I needed somebody to think of me tonight. You don't know how much. Thank you.
Miss Forbush, I wish to tell you that I think that you are the most wonderful woman in the entire world. I mean, the fact that you're an officer and all aside, you know. But I can't continue to be a heel and let you think that I even thought of bringing flowers.
Well, Luther, you did bring him to me, and I really appreciated him.
Miss Forbush, there was a card that came with the flowers. Are you okay, Miss Forbush? I'll be in the area in case you need anything. Just sing out.
What's wrong, Nellie the nurse? Diplomatic difficulties with France?
Joe Cable, who let you out of the hospital?
Me, I'm all right.
You're trying to get over to Bali High. The little girl you were telling me about?
Leah. Seen her for the last time, I guess. You know, I love her, and I found myself saying I can't marry her. What's wrong with me, Nellie? What kind of guy am I?
Joe, you're all right. You're just far from home. Well, we're both just so far from home.
Nellie, I must see you.
I mean,
Will you excuse us, Lieutenant?
Oh, no, wait, Joe, please stay. I mean, I've been meaning to call you.
You have asked for a transfer. Why? What does it mean?
Well, I'll explain everything tomorrow.
No, now, Nellie, what does it mean?
Well, it means I can't marry you. Do you understand? I can't marry you.
Nellie, because of my children.
Well, no, not because of your children. They're sweet.
It is their Polynesian mother, then? Their mother and I?
Yes. Well, it's not like I can help it. There's no good reason. It's just something that's emotional. This is something that's been born in me.
It is not. I do not believe it is born in you.
Well, then why do I feel the way I do? All I know is I can't help it. I can't help it. Joe, explain how we feel. Joe.
Nellie! What makes her talk like that? Why do you have these feelings, you and she? I do not believe it is born in you. I do not believe it.
It's not born in you. It happens after you're born. You've got to be taught to hate and fear. You've got to be taught from year to year. It's got to be drummed in your dear little ear. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught to be afraid of people whose eyes are oddly made, of people whose skin is a different shade. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught before it's too late, before you are 6 or 7 or 8, to hate all the people your relatives hate. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be carefully taught.
This is just the kind of ugliness I have been running away from. Now it has followed me all this way, all these years. I've been cheated before and I'm cheated again. My mean little world of mean little men. And the one chance for me is this life I know best. To be here on this island and to hell with the rest. I shall cling to this island like a tree or a stone. Cling to this island and be free and alone.
Look, sir, if I make it out of this thing alive, I'm not going back there. I'm coming back here. Everything I care about is right here.
When everything you care about is here, it is a good place to be. But when everything has been taken from you, there is no place. I came so close to it, so close. One dream in my heart, one love to be living for, one love to be living for. This nearly was mine. One girl for my dreams, one partner in paradise. This wind of paradise once nearly was mine. Close to my heart she came, only to fly away, only to fly as day flies from moonlight. Now I'm alone, still dreaming of paradise, still saying that's paradise once nearly was mine.
Beck, I wonder if you'd reconsider going over to Marie Louise with me, now that you don't have so much to lose. You and I, we could do a good job, I think. You know, when I would get in a jam back home, I would go hunting. I think that's what I'll do now. I'll go hunting. Jap carriers, troop ships, big game. If I go over there, what side of the island should I go up?
The south side.
Why?
There is a cove there and rocks. I have sailed in behind these rocks many times.
Could a submarine get in there without being observed?
Yes, if you know the channel.
And after I land, what would I do then?
You will get in touch with my friends Basil and Inato, two black men, wonderful hunters. They will hide us in the hills.
Us? You plan on coming with me?
Of course. You are too young to be out alone. Let us go and find Captain Brackett, huh?
Oh, wait until that old bastard Brackett hears about this. He's gonna jump out of his skin.
That's one jump I would like to see. Come on.
What's that? What was that?
That was nothing, sir.
It sounded like someone trying to send a message. It sounded like code.
That was no code, sir. That was the metal roof cooling off at night.
Oh.
If you'd like to go back to your office, I'll let you know as soon as something comes up.
I'll stay over here. I don't want to add to your problems. It's just we ought to be getting a message right now, that's all. We ought to be getting a message. They've had time to land and set up an observation post by now, don't you think?
Captain Brackett. Wait. Captain Brackett. It's about that CV out there, Billis. Commander Perkins over at Operations estimates that cent he pulled this morning cost the Navy $600,000.
600?
Yes, sir.
By God, I'm gonna chew his... Get him in.
Yes, sir.
Let me know the minute you get any word. No matter what I'm doing, break in.
Yes, sir.
Get in there. Now, you're at attention. Captain, this is Lieutenant Buzz Adams. He flew the mission this morning.
Captain?
Hi, Adams. One man like you in an outfit is like a rotten apple in a barrel. Just what it was like sitting down there in your little rubber boat in the middle of Empress Augusta Bay while the whole Navy Air Force is trying to rescue you. How the hell do you fall out of a BBY anyway?
Sir, the Japanese anti-aircraft busted a hole in the side of the plane and I fell out. The wind just sucked me out, sir.
Attention.
I'm supposed to understand that you stowed away in the compartment of an airplane you knew was going on a dangerous mission. Oh, you had sand enough for that, all right. But then the minute it gets hit by anti-aircraft fire, you just fell out. The wind just pulled you right out, you and your little parachute. Well, I don't think that you fell out, Billis. I think that you jumped. Now, which did you do?
Well, sir, it was kind of half and half. You get the picture.
This is one of the most humiliating things that's ever happened to me. Adams, when did you find out he was on the plane?
Well, we're about out for an hour. It was dark. I know. We were flying across Marie Louise, and the Jap anti-aircraft spotted us and made that hit. That's when Luther, this fellow right here, that's when he left the ship. I circled once around to drop him down a rubber boat. Some New Zealanders with P-40 spotted him while I was alongside the island dropping off Joe and the Frenchman. By the time they came back, our Navy planes were in the air like a thick swarm of bees. Hey, jeez. Alright. They kept the Jap guns busy while I scooped Billis off that rubber boat. You'd have to think this guy was like a $90 million cruiser. There must have been 50 or 60 planes?
62.
You're not far wrong, Adams. Harbison here tells me this thing cost the Navy $600,000.
$600,000.
What are you so happy about?
I was just thinking about my dad. He never said I'd amount to a dime.
Never said anything.
Why the hell did you do this, Billis? What would make a man do a thing like this?
Sometimes a guy's got to do what his guy's got to do. You know? You got to get held down. So you want to go out looking for a souvenir, you just got to hone in on it. You get the picture?
How did you even know about this?
Well, I didn't really know about it, sir, until I heard Lieutenant Gable and that guy Emile DeBeck talking about it. I knew something was in the air. A project. And that's what I like, sir, is projects. You get the picture?
Billis, you've broken every rule, regulation in the Navy. And by God, the captain and I are going to throw the book at you.
Sir, may I barge in?
What?
Please.
My co-pilot watched this thing this whole time, and he thinks what this man, Billis, did here was kind of diversionary action. What? See, while all those guns were all pointed at him, that sub that had Joan the Frenchman was able to deposit behind those rocks into the enemy territory.
What do you want me to do with this guy? Give him a Bronze Star?
I don't want a Bronze Star. I could use a little bit of, liberty. Some room to kick my shoes around if you get the picture.
Attention!
Get out of here.
Wait, what about the
Get
Bronze
out of here!
Go.
Well, Iron Belly, what would you have done?
Well, I'd thrown him in the brig. And I still will if I get a ghost of a chance.
And so we are here. This is our first chance to send news to you. We have made contact with former friends of mine. We have set up quarters in a mango tree. No room but a lovely view. First, the weather. Rain clouds over Bougainville, the treasuries, Choiseul and New Georgia. We expect rain in this region from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Pardon? Oh, my friend Joe corrects me. 0900 to 1400. And now, our military expert, Joe.
All you Navy, Marine, and Army pilots, write this down. Surface craft, 19 troop barges headed down the bottom. Speed, about 11 knots. Ought to pass the Nika about 2,000 a night, escorted by heavy warships. There ought to be some way to knock a few of these off. As for aircraft, there's little indication of activity at the moment. The 22 bombers, Betty's, went by at 0600, headed southwest. There was a fighter escort, not heavy. They should reach.
Oh boy,
Where are you going?
we're going to be going off on waves tonight. Waves!
Sit down, Bill. Here.
Oh, thanks, Captain.
You know what I like, Bill? Projects. Don't you?
Projects.
All right, quiet down, you riffraff. Listen up.
Seeing today, unlimited. 33 fighters, Zeros are moved in from Bougainville. Their course is approximately 23 degrees. Undoubtedly, heavy bombers will follow.
You got all that?
Well, gentlemen, here's the hot tip for the day. Joe and the Frenchman have sighted 20 surface aircraft headed southeast from Bella La Bella. Christmas is just 2 weeks away. Let's give those two characters a Christmas present. A view with nothing coming back.
All right, with me. Let's go.
Well, Captain, you got to tell her something sometime. She hasn't seen the man in 2 weeks. I think it's time she knows now.
All right. Send her in. Get all the tough jobs.
Ensign? Captain, let's see.
Captain Brackett, I know this isn't regular, but it's about Emile de Beck. See, I went to his house last week to, well, you know, when you fight and then days later you have a better answer. Well, I went to his house and it wasn't there, and well, I even asked his children, and he has 2 small children, and they didn't seem to know where he'd gone. At least I think that's what they said. You know, they only speak French. But then tonight, when I was on duty at the ward, we have a bunch of fighter pilots over there. The boys that knocked out the convoy yesterday. Well, you know how fighter pilots talk about Immelmans and wingovers, and well, I never really listened to them usually, but then they kept talking about a Frenchman, and the Frenchman said this, and the Frenchman said that. Well, Captain, I was just wondering if maybe the Frenchman that they were talking about could be, well, maybe my Frenchman.
Yes, it is, Miss Forbush. I couldn't tell you before, but if you can wait a few minutes, you can hear his voice.
Well, hear his voice? Where is he?
With Lieutenant Cable, behind enemy lines.
Behind it?
Hello. Hello, my friends and allies. My message today must be brief and sad. Lieutenant Cable, my friend Joe, died last night. He died from wounds he received 3 days ago. I will never know a finer man. I wish he could have told you the good news. The Japanese are pulling out and there is great confusion. Our guess is that the Japs will try to evacuate troops from Cape Esperance tonight. You may not hear from us for several days. We must move again. 2 planes are overhead. They are looking for us, we think. We believe that... What? What? Goodbye.
Is that all? Can't you get him back?
No. They cut off.
Oh, Joe. Oh, little Joe Cable. Oh, Captain Brackett, do you think there's a chance we'll see Emile de Beck again? Well, because if there isn't, would you tell me?
There's a chance. Of course there's a chance.
I didn't even know he was going.
Of course not. How could he tell you? Don't you blame Emile de Beck. He's okay. He's a wonderful guy.
Uh-huh.
has got a chance, doesn't he, Bill?
Of course, there's always a chance.
Yeah. Come on, let's get out of here.
Come back. Come back so I can tell you something. I know what counts now. It's you. All those other things, the woman you had before, and her color. Oh, what a pitiful, what a pinhead I was. Oh, come back so I can tell you. Oh, God, please don't die until I can tell you. All that matters is you and I being together. That's it. Just together.